Hello, my name is Ben.
And my name is Josh.
And welcome back to FPL Graduates. And welcome back to our first review of the Euro so far. Matchday 1 been and gone already. And we're a couple of hours away from Matchday 2 already. So we're going to do a little review and a little preview of everything Euros. And it's going pretty well.
It is indeed. It's been a good start for me and you both, to be fair. Friday night, unreal limbs in the pub for me and you with the Italy game. It's just gone on since then. So shall we get cracking in? You can go for your team first if you want.
Yeah, I'll go through my team. So this is how it looked in the end. We got, I believe, 69 points? Not too bad at all. I mean, we started off with the Insigne captaincy pick, which unbelievable captaincy pick. He got the goal. Spinazzola and Donnarumma as well. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And we struggled a bit in the 4.5 defender sort of range. Hinteregger, Kaya, Danea, Wynau didn't quite pick up the points for me. Now, you see what I'll do with one of the defenders. I've brought him out this week. You see what we do. But yeah, going through the team, there wasn't too many big returns. Well, not too many returns over the whole team. I got the Alaba return, Spinazzola, Ronaldo, Lukaku, which ended up doing really well. The one pain is Hiradeki on the bench, but literally everyone had him on the bench, so I don't think it's too much of a concern. But yeah, looking at overall, I'm pretty pleased with how my team's set up. I like that Ferran Torres, he moved to almost a striker role at points in that Spanish game, and I think he will play a bigger role. I don't think he played too well in that game against Sweden. But yeah, there was some really promising performances in there and kind of stands me in good stead going into the next sort of couple of game weeks. And yeah, that's kind of how my team's looking. Josh, what do you think?
Yeah, it's really good. We have quite similar first match day teams, to be fair. I know a lot of people are saying you're copying XYZ's team. We're targeting all the same fixtures, so a lot of the players are going to be the same at the end of the day. But yeah, Insigne captaincy pick was great. I couldn't afford him, sadly, so I had Berardi. We'll see that in a minute. But yeah, the rest of it was really nice. I think Mount maybe a bit unlucky. He went very close with that free kick as well. So you're a really good team. And like you said, you're looking good going forward for sure.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people were saying as well that maybe I should have swapped the captaincy over and just twisted it. But I had that safety right there straight away off the bat, Insigne with the captaincy return. Now,
it's only a difference of 4 points as well. So.
Exactly. So I wasn't too concerned about that. I've seen a lot of people, talking about the captaincy changes and making a couple of mistakes in that first match day. And I think we probably need to go over, the sort of rules around changing the captains and the substitution sort of side of it. You have to make those substitutions and captaincy changes before the first game of the day.
Yeah.
I wasn't too sure about it either. We went into after the first game of the second day of the match day just to see and to test it. And yeah, it turns out that you've got to make those changes before the first game. So yeah. That's the thing I picked up on. Josh, will you get into your team?
Yeah, we can do indeed. We'll bring it up now. So I got 71 points this week. It was just 2 more than Ben. We knew that. I think we both had Ronaldo yesterday, didn't we? So it was always going to be that 2-point difference. A very similar team, as I mentioned. Obviously, Donnarumma in goal with Spinazzola. What a player he was, by the way. Great player to have. So attacking. And if you've not got him already, definitely bring him in. Defense was very disappointing. Probably the most disappointing part of my team, to be fair. We had Hinteregger, who conceded that stupid goal to North Macedonia because of Bachmann falling over and all sorts. And then obviously the Danish boys as well. Obviously, our prayers and thoughts go out to Eriksen and stuff like that, because glad he's recovered, because when it happened, it was just horrible to watch. I think everyone would agree on that. So not really bothered about that. I'm just happy that Eriksen's recovered and hopefully feeling better. Wijnaldum in midfield. A lot of people went with Depay. I backed Wijnaldum because I just know in that Netherlands team, he plays much more advanced than he does for Liverpool. Gets that goal. Very nice to start things off. Alaba got that assist, which was great limbs on the Sunday as well. Berardi assist as well. So all midfield returning, which is nice. And then we had Ronaldo with a 10-pointer, Lukaku with a 10-pointer. I did switch the captaincy from Berardi to Lukaku because obviously that one assist I'm always going to twist. I think for me now, I'm looking forward, it's got to be 2 returns at a minimum for my captain, whether that's a goal and an assist or 2 goals. I think I'll always twist unless that's that's the case. And maybe even with a goal and assist, I still might twist depending on fixtures and stuff. And then obviously Harry Kane, very disappointing. He played quite deep. I think a lot of people picked up on that. So, and obviously Hradecki on the bench. If I had him in there, that would have been an unbelievable week. But again, not expecting that before the Finland-Denmark game, and I would never have switched. So no problem there. What do you think?
Yeah, pretty decent. I mean, pretty similar. Very much like a few template players in there. The Wijnaldum pick, very, very good. I didn't quite look into the stats too much based around that, but I've seen on Twitter afterwards that he averages like 4 shots a game for the Netherlands, which is crazy. And I mean, that puts us both at around 100k overall, something like that. And I mean,
I think I'm like 72. I think.
I mean, it was pretty crazy after the first fixture.
Yeah, I was getting a nosebleed
after the Italy fixture. I think I was at 4k overall, and I've not been up in them heights in a long while. So that was always good, you know, being up there, mixing it up with everyone with the big points. But yeah, in terms of the FPL Graduates League, I'm sat about 300th out of 3,000 plus of you, which, you know what, I'll take it. It's not too bad. But yeah, Josh, I want you to go into your team for this match day.
Yeah.
Because you've gone, I guess, template in what you've decided.
Yeah, obviously a lot of people using Limitless, the chip Limitless on match day. Just to go over Limitless, and for the people who are not too sure, it's basically like free hit if you've played Fantasy Premier League. So you get unlimited budget, unlimited transfers, all for 1 week, and then your team in match day 3 will go back to the team from match day 1, basically. So this is just like a one-off punt for this game week. I'm using it in the group stage because you can attack the weaker teams. There's a lot more games, a lot more goals, a lot more clean sheets. There's just a lot more availability. It makes it easier for you to get points. A lot of people saying, oh, why not use it in the final where you can just have a full 11 of 2 teams? But obviously all those 11 aren't going to return realistically. So, we're going with this. So as you can see, a bit of a mix. I don't think there's anything too controversial in there. I think it's quite template. If you're playing Limitless this week, you'll know that picking midfielders has been pretty difficult this week. A lot of options and maybe not many great options. So we'll start in goal. Gone with Donnarumma. That could change to the Russian goalkeeper. Not sure yet. Still up in the air. But yeah, he's in goal for now. Spinazzola is going to be my captain just because I think he offers that attacking threat as well as that Italian clean sheet that is almost certain. I'm not going to say it is because obviously they could concede today and I look like an idiot. But yeah, he looks really good, Spinazzola. Meunier, likewise, he obviously came off the bench. Castagna is not going to be fit for the Euros now, so it's a no-brainer. That was the whole point of no one having Meunier in, is because of that rotation risk with Castagna. So he's there. Zinchenko's there, plays in midfield. Ukraine, North Macedonia, great fixture, one to target for sure. Insigne's in there. Obviously, that goal was beautiful. He looked really lively against Turkey, so he's in there. Yarmolenko, unreal goal. He just looked about it. He looked really good, and I'm really excited to watch him against North Macedonia. Wijnaldum's taking his place there. I think I need someone from the Dutch team. I'm not expecting Wijnaldum to necessarily score again, but I'm not going to choose the pie when you have the opportunity to pick any 3 strikers in the game. He's just not in the top 3 for me. Raheem Sterling's there. Bit of a risk rotation. I said on the TikTok live, like, it wouldn't surprise me if we rotate. It wouldn't surprise me if we stay the same. So we'll wait and see about that. Mbappe's up there. I thought I had it on Griezmann yesterday, but seeing France, man, he just looked ridiculous. Absolute Rolls Royce of a player. Harry Kane's still in there. Scotland at home. I'm expecting at least 3-0 England. No offence to all you Scottish fans. And then Lukaku as well up top because he's a bagsman and I can see him easily scoring and just winning that game for Belgium on his own. Moving on to the bench, I've put importantly, of course, it's not like FPL. Pickford's in there as that sort of England clean sheet coverage. Paul Pogba is in there because I thought he was the best player on the pitch yesterday. He was absolutely unreal. I've gone with Pavard over Hernandez just because I wanted a little bit differential, and I think he's probably actually more attacking than Hernandez, although Hernandez did get that assist yesterday. And then also Jordi Alba as my Spanish coverage in defence. What do you think, Ben?
Yeah, decent. I mean, the only thing I can see there that you're missing is Dumfries. That's the only thing I'd be thinking right now. I thought he looked fantastic, and one of the Dutch's best players. But it's a bit differential going Zinchenko, which I don't think is a bad thing, because the fixture that they've got is quite a nice one. So I could see him doing well in that one. But yeah, in terms of what you picked, I love the Pogba pick. I think that's even in itself differential compared to what a lot of people have done. So yeah, I like the picks, and hey, I think you'll get a decent amount of points this week.
Let's hope so. Someone's just commented Pavard's like an injury risk now, because obviously he had that concussion, or it wasn't actually concussion, otherwise he would have came off. So we continued playing, and my thought process behind that is that he's probably going to play in a few days' time if he's going to continue playing. So he stays there for now. If I hear anything before the 2 o'clock deadline, obviously it's a simple switch to Hernandez. It's not really too much of an issue.
Yeah, decent. I like it. I'll just get up my team now. I haven't used the Limitless chip because the main reason is just because I want to be a little bit different, and it makes our content a little bit more interesting. So I'm not too bothered about how I finish this fantasy for the Euros. But yeah, this is how we're lining up. The 2 free transfers that I've used is Ronaldo's come out, Karim Benzema has come in, and then Hinteregger's come out, and Hernandez has come in for me. I get the feeling that because everyone uses the Limitless chip now, that those 4.5 defenders, Denea and Wynau, who didn't play, are going to return. They're definitely playing. They're definitely returning. I've decided that because, fantasy football is a funny game, and,
sometimes less is more.
Exactly.
Sure.
You know what I mean? But yeah, I've currently got the captain on Insigne, and I'm tempted also to go Yilmaz, just outside the box sort of pick against Wales. But, Spinazzola, obviously a very good pick as well. So it's probably going to be a toss-up between those 3 of who's going to be my captain pick to start with. I'm quite confident that my subs coming out will be probably Kaya for Hernandez, and then maybe one of the midfielders who don't return, probably Alaba for a Benzema, and then obviously we got Ferran Torres as well coming off the bench, who, I don't think Spain played too badly, just didn't have that cutting edge, and I think that'll come with games. So I guess the strategy is probably vibe with this team for a week, probably use a Limitless maybe next week. Not too sure about that yet. I think there's nicer fixtures in Matchday 3, but obviously there's that chance that teams would have already qualified. But yeah, I still think they're going to play their main players, the big teams, because you want to keep your players fresh and on form and on the ball. And players like Lukaku, players like that are going for Golden Boot, they're going to want to play every game, simple as, to give themselves best chance to win that Golden Boot. So that's kind of why I'm leaning towards that Limitless Matchday 3. Also, Ben Krellin told me to do it. He said on Twitter the optimum time to do it is Matchday 3. So I just went, you know what, that backs up being different to Josh. So why not? We also got another wild card as well, haven't we?
Yeah. Yeah, you got obviously the chip wild card, and then you also get a wild card in the round of 16 as well.
Yeah, so I imagine I'll use the wild card maybe quarterfinals, semi-finals, maybe see how my team's looking. But for me, it's just all about vibes at this point, and we'll see how it goes. Yeah,
I think your team looks good. I was thinking about Ferran Torres in mine, just because of how poor Poland looked. But I don't know. I think the options that I've got in midfield are decent, and he's not quite crept in there. And I think Jordi Alba is also like almost coverage, I guess you could say, because they hold a lot of the possession in Spain. So I'm sure he'll get on the ball a lot. But if everyone gets all their questions in now, we'll go through, answer as many questions as we can, because obviously we've gone through all our team. We'll start off with Jack, and he says Benzema or Mbappe, Ben?
Now, this is an interesting one, because I think Mbappe is going to be more of the explosive option. But if you want to go differential, like I have, Benzema is not a bad shout at all. We saw him, he had one disallowed, didn't he, Benzema?
Yeah, he got a tap in, yeah.
And I think with Mbappe out left, Griezmann in behind him with Pogba there. He's getting the best service in the world right now. So I think he's a really, really good shout. And, you know, he's going to be starting for France. Simple as. Like, he's a quality striker, resurgence. He's got stuff to prove. And I think if that goal had stood last night, I genuinely would be like, yeah, put money on him to be top goal scorer of this tournament, because, you know, he's just going to get stuff on a plate for him. With the service he's got, I really do think Benzema's a good shout. And he's 2 million cheaper as well. So if you're not on the Limitless, definitely look at Benzema as an option up front.
Yeah, I have to. I had Griezmann in before the game was played, because I think he's on penalties, Griezmann, because Benzema missed the last one in the friendly before the tournament. So yeah, all three of them fantastic options. I've even thought about going with two of them in my Limitless, which is interesting. I just don't think I can go without Kane and Lukaku, especially Lukaku. Although it's a tougher fixture, I think like if anyone's scoring for Belgium, it's Lukaku, isn't it? Like you can't. I think it's too much of a risk. A lot of people will probably captain him as well. So, yeah, I think for me, I'm going Mbappe, but I totally understand if you went with Griezmann or Benzema. Like you said, Benzema has unreal service. It's just like Mbappe was the one creating as well as scoring. So, yeah.
Yeah, we've got a question here. A couple of them saying, is Perisic a good shout? Is Perisic a good option in Limitless?
I think you could definitely consider him. You consider anyone, really. I think Czech Republic actually looked quite good against Scotland. I know Scotland didn't really do too much. They didn't really take their chances, but I don't really expect too many goals. And I didn't think Croatia looked very lively against England. I don't know what you think about it.
Yeah, I mean, we had a defence with a right back playing left back and Tyrone Mings. So if that's keeping a clean sheet against Croatia, I wouldn't be too confident there. They're definitely not the same team that they were in the World Cup, and even when we played them in the Nations League, they're still not they're not quite as good as they were then. I don't know whether they've quite got that attacking prowess that they once had. So for me, if I was on a Limitless, he'd probably be one I wouldn't really be considering as an option. Obviously, could go out and Croatia could score 3, but I don't see it happening with Czech Republic looking pretty decent right now. Let's have a look. Interesting one here that I'll let you answer, Josh. Yarmolenko or Malinovsky?
It's an interesting one. I watched a bit of the Dutch game, Ukraine game. I didn't see the Ukraine goals. Obviously, I saw them afterwards. But I think in terms of fantasy perspective, I think Yarmolenko is the one to go for. He seems a lot more explosive. Apparently, he might take penalties along with Zinchenko. It's a bit of like a 50-50 with them. So I sort of covered bases with that in my Limitless. He also scores worldies. So why would you not choose Yarmolenko? I know Malinovsky's on set pieces like free kicks and stuff. But for me, I am definitely choosing Yarmolenko.
Decent. We've got a differential pick here. Forsberg. Are we sleeping on Sweden right now? Because they played pretty decent against Spain and they could have easily won that.
Yeah. I think I've seen quite a few of like our mates. They've brought in Sweden defensive assets, but I think going forward is somewhere where we need to look out for. I think, do they have Poland, don't they, in the next fixture? No, Spain have Poland. They have Slovakia. Sweden, yeah. Slovakia. Yeah, I think Forsberg's a good option because he's in midfield. I know I've seen a lot of people asking about Isaac in the TikTok live, but I think you want to use those big boys up top. So Forsberg in the midfield where it's not going to get a lot of like big points, shall we say. I think he's a very good differential for sure.
Yeah, so let's have a look here. We'll take a few more questions here. Oh, nice one here. Pogba or Ferran Torres?
It's a tough one, isn't it? I'm gonna go straight out and just say Pogba because it's matched my Limitless. I just think he just looked like their most creative player in that game, and compared to Spain, they might be struggling a little bit. I can't really see Spain going and turning over a team like 3-0 right now. So I'd go Pogba. I don't know about you.
I would I'd probably go Pogba as well. But he could, because he looked so good.
Yeah.
I think that's the reason. Let's have a look. Hazard or De Bruyne or Limitless? Will any of them play? I'm not too sure. but I probably would have one of them in there, just because of the fact that the substitution sort of system allows you to kind of take that risk a bit more.
Yeah. I have to agree. I haven't got one, though, on my Limitless at the minute. It's just, I just don't know. It comes down to how many minutes are they going to play. Like, I'd probably rather have like a Yarmolenko who plays 90 minutes than just coming back from injury Hazard or De Bruyne for, say, I don't know, 20 minutes. You know what I mean? Like that's what I've thought about it. Because to be honest, I have no idea how much De Bruyne is going to play. He's only come back in training the last couple of days, so I don't have a question whether he's match fit and stuff like that as well. You got to think about, because he hasn't played since the Champions League final. He hasn't done any friendlies and stuff, so it's a tough one. If you're going Limitless, I'd pick one. I'd probably go Hazard personally. I don't know about you.
See, I don't think either of them start.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I think one of them comes off the bench. I'd probably lean towards more De Bruyne because I think he's the more proven player in recent, like, sort of this season. You know, I think Hazard, there's still question marks over him. We'll take a couple more here. I'm trying to get a good one here. There's so many questions coming in. If we don't get through them, just pop them to us on Instagram. We'll get round to them. Is Foden a good option?
I think if there is rotation, he's probably the guy who gets rotated rather than Sterling, just because he didn't score and he plays very similar to Jack Grealish. So in my eyes, I'd go Sterling over him if you're going Limitless, but it's a tough one, isn't it? I don't know what you think about it.
It is a tough one. I don't think Grealish plays because we've seen he was out of training, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So that kind of eliminates one of the options. It's a risk. I think it's definite risk. I think Mount's probably the safer bet to go for because Southgate obviously really likes him. But yeah, we'll take one more question.
Yeah.
Let's have a look here. Trying to find a really, really tasty one. Let's have a look. This one. Kane over Immobile.
I've been thinking about this one. I was backing Immobile all before the tournament, and just my luck that I don't put him in my team. He gets a goal and an assist. Yeah, I think you have to pick Kane over Immobile because Scotland's the fixture. Like, they didn't look great, Scotland. They look quite poor defensively, especially without Kieran Tierney. I'm not sure if he'll be back for Friday's game. But yeah, I'd probably go Kane over Immobile just for this week. And I think also the thing with Italy, that the defence is so good that can you afford to fit in Immobile into your team? Like Insigne, Spinazzola and Donnarumma, or if you're going double Italy defence, I think it's very tough to get him in. I don't know what you think.
Oh, yeah, I kind of agree with that. But also, you got to look. Kane didn't look too great in that first fixture. Obviously, a much easier fixture this time round with Scotland. I've got to lean towards Kane as well, I think, because of a lot of people are going to have Insigne and Spinazzola already. So I think I'd go Kane over that.
I think I'd rather double Italy defence and then Kane than like Immobile and only one Italian defender, if that makes sense. So that's why I'd choose Kane over him. Yeah.
So, wow. That was a good episode, wasn't it?
A busy one.
Very interesting. If you didn't get your question answered, we'll go over to Instagram, that sort of thing, and answer questions over there. I'll be going live on TikTok in a bit. I know, the deadline's coming up, so I'll get on there and answer a couple of questions over there as well. But yeah, as always, thank you for watching. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. I've been Ben.
I've been Josh.
We'll see you guys
later. Have a good match day, everyone.